called out my name, stomped on Twitter, and then, obviously, if Act's going to say it, you're going to get it from all angles, all these people coming out the woodwork. It made it up to some chief of staff in the White House is telling me this ain't it, chief. And yeah, which was crazy. So
he actually works on the communications team, which means he might be the one who made that MAGA cover art in the first place.
And he might have been like, don't talk about my work like that. He was excited. So I responded to academics directly, rather than going back and forth on Twitter. I made a video and I responded to academics directly. And I had kind of broken down my thought process in my tweet, why I thought that maybe he should have said something if he wanted to denounce, them using specifically that title too. This wasn't about just the album and the songs being used. This was about the name Iceman being used. They were calling Trump Iceman. It was specifically that. And I even said in there, I don't think that was Trump's intent. I was just saying if you wanted to disassociate from that, all you have to do is say so. That was really my point. But in doing so, because of the way academics addressed me, I did address him in a very similar manner, and I threw some shots his way, as well as some intel that I had received about maybe him having some backing that was political, and maybe that swaying some of his commentary. He responded by basically telling me, I have $100,000 for you if you can prove that. He spoke a little bit nicer to me on his stream, I will say. I'll give him credit there. He said he has $100,000 if I could prove that with receipts. So I dropped another video, and I basically said that there were certain ties that may be politically, and I gave some transaction points. And he responded recently on his stream on Saturday, basically claiming that, he only watched half of my video, conveniently. He showed the first half with the receipts, and he showed receipts on screen, I will say. He showed Rumble receipts. I will say there's also a much deeper tie between Truth Social and Rumble and the person that I mentioned than he's willing to give credit for, and that we might even know at this moment publicly. But I will, all allegedly, right? I'll let things play out in time. I won't necessarily go too deep into it. But it was convenient that he basically only responded to the first half of my video and cut it, because in the second half of my video, I also talked about ongoing legal investigations into him alongside his boy, George, Grand Wizard, who goes by a name associated with the KKK, and uses the N-word and is an Asian man, and promotes hate all over his platform, and has probably spoken negatively about many of us on this platform before, many times. But I spoke about an investigation going on there between them, and I just felt like Act maybe feels the walls crumbling around him, and maybe things are coming to the light and things are happening, and he's trying to get ahead of it, and he's trying to bring other people into it. He brought multiple artists into it, even though I addressed him directly and said, let's just...
まだこのステージは早すぎる。
He did, like you said, focus quite in the academics response. He did, like you said, focus quite a bit on the first half.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, you whooped him for that 100K for sure.
Bank statements, and it showed that it was from Rumble, right? And so I guess it's the same CEO of Rumble and Truth Social, if I understand that correctly.
So the man that I brought up, Chris. So academics also conveniently only showed one part of that Forbes article, but in the Forbes article, the quote is, the man who helped run Truth Social and a key player in Truth Social. That is the person who I am referring to. And Rumble is basically, and Truth Social is basically powered by Rumble. There's a lot of connections. That's all I want to say about those receipts. There's more to it than what meets the eye, and we'll see what comes from it.
We have someone here who left a super chat who looks like they're a fan of academics. It says that you were proven a liar by acting that woke shit.
It's very interesting that he used the term woke completely incorrectly, similar to how academics used it in his response to me. I thought that was interesting as well.
I think this is another touch point, because I've had a very I just think it's weird that everybody is fighting to distance, in this case, Drake from MAGA, and all these figures from Drake. Like, to me, that is just weird. I don't, like, one thing academics said in response to you was that, hey, if the Republicans give me a check, I put it up here. If the Democrats give me a check, I put it up there. He doesn't seem to have a problem with the association, right? But so many different forces, because that's what your original tweet was about.
Yeah.
The original tweet was about the White House supporting the Drake album, and, say something about it, this is something about it. You got everybody from academics to people who work at the White House. The White House guy said, this ain't it, Chief. And that whole thing is just so odd to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he clearly doesn't have a problem with the association. But why do you think so many people are working so hard to distance?
Well, that to me is very interesting. I think also the manner in which they're responding. To my tweet, the way and then also the way he's responding to my video shows that there's not. This isn't all false. This isn't coming from nowhere. It's not like there's no connections between the things that I'm piecing together. And I haven't pieced all these things together. I've put it all together, but I just think he realizes that there's things that come to light, and he's trying to get ahead of it, and they're trying to attack me for it, which is fine. People can attack me because I was partially the messenger on that. But he talks a lot about being a mouthpiece, right? He said, Jeremy's just a mouthpiece for this specific agenda, which is very interesting since I'm not getting paid to say anything. But we know, like you said, Justin, he had absolutely no issue saying, I'll take money from whoever to say whatever. So if you're already letting the people know, which I put that in my video that he ignored that part. If you have no problem getting paid to say whatever from whoever, why should we believe the things that you're saying?
Question. Brandon, any questions for this topic? Comments?
Could you show us what academics show? Because my understanding is that you said he got paid from Truth Social, but because I know you said specific numbers. Those specific numbers shows a transaction from Rumble instead of Truth Social. Is that what you're saying?
I said he got paid by the head of Truth Social. He showed a transaction. I'm telling you, the connection between Truth Social and Rumble is deeper. And that's all I really want to say.
You don't have to say. I know you said two different transactions. Did he show both? And did they both say Rumble?
He showed both, yeah.
Okay, because I looked it up and it says that there's still so it seems as though Truth Social was the first cloud services. It's almost like they created the whole service for Truth Social. And one could say that it says Rumble, but it's almost like having a payment that says AWS. Okay, AWS really. The payment just basically say AWS.
Here we go.
They said, I'm not getting paid for Truth Social, but I'll take it. But we already know
Honestly, just what he pulled out is what it was, to be honest. Like, the Twitter Discord is a heavy streamer on Twitter, and that's how it was made. That's how it was made. I've noticed about all of this stuff is that just away from academics, there is a lot of synergies between social, between Rumble, between the White House and the Iceman, to Aiden Ross, to Steve, to Kick. Like, all of that is the same thing anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't think that necessarily. I can't call it one way or the other because when you go into it, it says it's over. So I can't look at this and say, if I run the wrong direction between that and what much social based on what that is. But to me, that's not even the point is like, you look at this whole ecosystem, it's weird to me how much they try to reflect from something that is almost public knowledge. And that to me is the part that's like, this is what try so much this week of the Wall Street Journal writes about this. The New York Times writes about this. It's all over the media papers. Really from the organization. That's
Yes, I
beneficial in a sense, like he addressed and it was like, maybe I wasn't the right person, and I'm like, there's a set, and I was like, maybe I don't agree with that, but I think that's all I understand, like, to something and like, and where I'm get out in our neighborhoods and all that stuff, so, and I also think that, like, Drake is now in a very great position for himself as a political like in recent years has like explicitly alleged stuff with like the red pill and like the worst pipelines. So it's just like bro, like we see it. Like we see it. It's as crazy and as messy and as dirty as it looks. So yeah, I understand like the overall look. I think the knee-jerk instinct of like, yeah, we look at Trump, Trump and do that, but Trump on screen, that is just a great look and it's like and
it's different. He is literally scared. He's just been saying that he's still watching Trump, he's supporting Trump. He at the same time saying, I'm not voting Trump for right now. But he's saying, but he is like the most ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to a guard, I think, yeah, if we got somebody who's trying to say, extremely operating. That goes to this part, which is so. I was telling Sam today on the phone. I actually appreciate this one is the calendars where he talks about Palestine. And on the conversation that came up around what going to Palestine, not because of his point of view, not because of his intentions, not because of what but because I'm just straight up honest. Break out through the conversation that to me, the nexus for a lot of this, even down to the social post for this discussion, not only just Drake or academics or these things. Obviously, the next one is so much about how there is a government push agenda that's happening. And we all talk about this one way or another. Other content and whatever. How much the manosphere has targeted hip-hop and American context along with all these things. And so, the fact that this discussion is happening through the box, to me, honestly, to me, it's like the best part. If I the blondes and the women, the fact that this exists, you know what I mean? It's like how it is. Someone who's someone who doesn't know backstory, doesn't know backstory, like listen to Drake Power, doesn't really know the detail. They listen to the song and they're gonna hear Drake say that is, and then they're gonna that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And to me, that's the point of this. Wake up opinion. The fact that the music, the bars that is in that culture is something I do really appreciate about high school, which is why I think, again, for me, more than anything else, I think it's as everybody running away from this world, and truthfully, academics to me is not about like actually still trying to still saying that it's happening. And whoever gets the money is going to get it. Like, yo, this is so cool. That's crazy.
There also may be on the other side of it, somebody where he's a good player, and he could come in and say, control somebody. And there's something that I always hear is the best you see it happen. If there's a situation, yes. Legit. The third time,
That's the fascinating part too. Like, I'm sure how good it takes a long time to unfriend for a long time. And one of the most great conversation that takes place on his album, and then they put it there and I don't think it's no tickets. But there's no tickets. This is kind of used to police and if that is kind of something that she doesn't spend but truthfully, actually fascinating. Guys like this actually takes like coach.
It's because I felt like the Power Stone was a big Satan because he framed it like a more challenge than it was Power Stone. And it's like, if you gonna do that, then you talk about history. It's a whole lot of things going on and kind of that off the table. So to me, it's more confusion and clickbait than it was like a stance or something.
But the fact that that is a debate that you can have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not so away from that, the fact that that is where the debate is. You know, because there are very good like, there's a geopolitical discussion happening in the movies around certain problems. You know what I'm saying? That to me is the unique. And that's it's like it is on something that is way outside of just what's happening.
Just real quick, because I just want to see this way. This is like a 6-5 already. For the most of the 6-5. This is like always very 6-5 already. Because they use the excited about issue 6 months. So that makes it that you just that. Well, it depends on what side of the internet you're on. Because on my side of the internet, we've been debating like the red pill like slant and extrapolating lines of this sometimes I'll just like years ago,
okay.
and also just watching
second show. It's funny, just when I was talking to you, shot. We were talking about this right when he got shot. George got shot, got in trouble, and he put his boy shot. I want to listen to the video. I don't know. This course happened because Jerry called out keep going. Yeah, like, oh, please. That's of course not. Because now, the rest of the country can cheers for this crazy man. That's what I think. But again, watching y'all cheer for me, the crazy niggas. That's what y'all do. If I have to defend the fact that I'm not MAGA, that's I don't care. Like, what are y'all talking about? You can't even be MAGA in a how does that work? How am I going to be on the same side with some famous white people in general? I don't even like white people in general. But again, I understand, look, I'll be y'all low right now as a hero. I don't give two fucks about
It was really good. They were trying to do this. They were basically make it
y'all be so desperate to protect your hero without the type to one man cheated on. I'm sure people try to claim it. It's what it is. Can't help it. Just not going on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I understand. Advice I ever got with a win was go play defense. Take a bus on the boat. But we did, on the top of the beat, I thought it was really nice. I made sure we did it. So, I was in there. Managed. One step forward, one step forward. Questions? This conversation between guys that are so guys it's incredibly frustrating what you see, what you see, what you should be classic. And that's the point where he is now so happy to be better himself. He's part of that. And so they start talking. And so Glasses during the lunch hour, having a conversation and Snoop comes in. And so Snoop and G had a conversation explaining where Snoop's coming from and this thing. Then, the next morning, this as he drops a video, very upsetting Glasses. Relationship with Daz and on the lunch hour today, she apologized to Daz and miscommunication that she had with us. But he continued to elaborate how important it is that these two both great men, but also family members, attackers in this culture, in this space. How great is it every time about and I thought that this was one of those situations where you start watching and then podcasts, you watch them hosts, you start watching them people who are around these conversations. It's very easy to notice when people hit the switch and tell them. And this is one of the few examples I've seen recently where the content is showing right on my phone. It's like it's just showing up, just right there in the middle of the screen. And she's doing everything we can to turn it down. To turn it down. And I just thought that was just a skill set of talent. And also, so you don't see that often in this everything's viral, everything's content, everything's got to be us versus you. That's legitimately something. But if you didn't call in, I'd rather just get it. You know what I'm saying? I just got that just really expressing to you. You just been saying. So, I'm going to let it be. It's moving. Yeah, this is perfect. And listen to it and say, look, figure out what you say. Talk about it. Then you come on a podcast. Walk all out. Man, it's going to do nothing. I don't care. So I figure out I talk to them. Talk to them. What you mean? I've been saying that's not hurt. Right out of a relationship, I've been to this man's houses. I mean, I've been to some I've been to some homes. I've been to some. He can't even pick me up. My first trip to Atlanta, he can't even pick me up. Just that's it. So it's like,
Hey.
So I realized, think about it, even though I'm not sleep calls in, now sleep is in. So it's a call, it's not my regular calls. And I don't know if he's talking, so we the whole post that goes in because it's so I'm trying to celebrate the greatest gift I can get and it's greatness. Y'all talk later, like so you talk to that man, came up here and see. You start growing, you start growing. Control. So listen to me. They don't respect me. I should talk about this real, bro. Person called Yasha. So, yeah. All worship. They just worship. So, truth is that I should have called him. Hey, Daddy just came on the show, bro. Said some shit. Come back to shit you said. I'll send it over to you. Something in me. So don't slow down, go away. All around. No, just this is so what would it do? So if you can't talk to me next to a friend, something stupid. But as a man, it's really train me. Just did something. It's the first platform I went. So you can't tell me something. It's like hell, right? She never speaks, so I'm trying to make sure.
Yeah, he said all that, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm grown. You know, I'm grown with him enough. He did enough to make him get that off. Don't get me wrong. So I just apologize, man. Since you did, it was one of those moments where it's like, I was wrong. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You didn't make me not want to make you feel like rich. I don't want you to it just became weird. Everybody's gonna try they made a clip on that page. I'm not even trying to press it. This is like I do want Snoop to be able to explain the side. I want them to talk in person. It's just and they show you. So it's to the point now where I just don't want them to do it, but also don't want them to stop it. Don't support it. Don't support it. Then you don't Snoop to feel like I just apologize for this. It's like, he really doing it. He said this. You know what's funny? I got
Say the fucking stuff, he would be able to see you.
So, still is trying to convince me position. Trump and poor people to get 7 and everybody knows what it is. Like, this is and still keep you one in a position to say, so, the only thing I want to do is fix the proposal. I don't think they want you to do it. He's like, why not? I said, just ain't nobody pays the power.
He's not a racist. He's a molester.
He's like, well, maybe ain't nobody. I have a hard time believing that a police person. It cannot be a crooked police person. I was thinking, I should, can you convince me?
You see it.
I should vote or even participate because I can't figure out why.
DK will give it to you right now.
Well, I think your state and local and municipal elections matter because you're going to let people into city council or to a mayorship that does engage in novel politics, literally what they would call super socialism. Socialists in power tend to want to expand government in a way that benefits the people. I know the right has done a really good job of being like, big government scary, you don't want government in your business. Well, you want to fund public services, you want to fund social safety nets, and that's a part of government moving forward with people. I think that like you do have more power on your school board, on your city council, as mayor, like in these kind of like local races and more like state specific races. There's also like Parks and Rec boards and like kind of boring technical shit that like is all for beautification of parks or all for
Is this the head of Parks and Rec? Content would be incredible.
And also you do too with your platform. Something that Mamdani I think has like really modeled in New York is creating the political will by communicating the message en masse to the people that need to be mobilized. Because like you said, you're not the only person that wants the platforms fixed. Streamlining that message, being like, okay, take that anger and go door knock or go canvas for this thing or go, channeling kind of that energy and highlighting city workers too. Being like, these are the stars of the show, the people that come and do your sanitation, the people that come fill your potholes, let's show these people, so you have to create like there's a lot of like moneyed interest involved in politics that do, you know what I mean? So I mean, I see why people kind of like step away from electoral politics and like civic engagement, but like I think on the like local and state level,
I want to do a podcast with you. We should all do it together. I could win, but I wouldn't want to run unless I could fix the pot.
That should
If
be
I
your
can't
name.
do these things, then why would I do it? I don't just want the false sense of control. Like, I'm cool. If I could fill the potholes, I'd be the greatest motherfucking politician ever. I'll fill it with the holes. That's how long the streets been messed up.
Just for the record, my
Should get Derek Steele from Beaumont, LA
voice.
for the podcast.
You heard me, Glenn? Just for the record, I vote no. Just, I don't know how much
No. No, mama. No.
Word up. I guess, okay, so officially, yeah, now on to the second show. Real quick, 9-second applause to everybody for a fantastic panel.
Woo!
Get up out of here. I know G said you got to go. I'm pretty sure you probably got to go.
I gotta go too.
One question people did have is, when is Bigger Picture coming back?
I know people ask me that quite a bit. I think we on one of the shows we were talking about it. I don't think it's. I know I told Simba. Simba actually interviewed me on a red carpet once. He asked me about the show. I had at that point a grander picture that I thought was going to come to fruition. As of right now, it doesn't feel like it's happening anytime soon. I still would love to get the gang back together. You know, that's my will, is to get the boys back and do a show, whether that be the Bigger Picture or something else, or even just for a stream sometime soon. So we still talk, still have a group chat. I still talk to Ed and Elliot individually. It's all love. But no time soon, don't get your hopes up on the Bigger Picture. But, tomato.
But great work anyway.
Thank you. And thank you for having me on here. This is one of my favorite panels. I feel like this is all different perspectives, but all solid.
Appreciate it. Jeremy, nothing. This is the second one. Second. What do you say, Al? G, you hanging for a second? Got to come on. Okay, the glasses.
I gotta drop this paint on.
Yo, man, for real, man. It's great to see how you handle that.
Nah, it was more. Hey, you ain't back. You got
Yeah, I'll be back next week.
So, thank y'all to the Coach United as always. Shout out to the people that I know y'all been some talking. I know we were talking. Always a learning experience with UPK. Thank you for all my leftovers. I'm gonna be eating good for the next couple days. Well, it's always a pleasure. My man Sam, I'll see you on set. Justin, you already know what time it is, man. Much love.
That's how it goes. Word up. You're still tuned in. Coach United right here on the Company Man channel every Wednesday. Hashtag CU Wednesdays at 5 p.m. PST. 1 second pause. We're now officially into the second show. Second show is conversation started by you all with the super chats you all lead. And we also end up taking some detours sometimes and other times. We might be passionate. Simba, you hanging? You saying?
Reclaim the real history that was stolen from us. It's time for the real history of slavery. The real history.
10 more minutes.
It's a perfect time to hear a new joint from Simba
Let's
that
do
we
it.
have right here in the cut. I think we need to have a music break refresh. Do you want to announce this song?
Yeah, let's do it, man. For those of y'all that don't know, I started my own app. You can go to your app store, type in Simba, and it's really a place for me to communicate with people that like what I do. Over the last 3 years of me having to get out of my situation, I kind of figured out who my fan is and like what it is I do for them and what I provide for them. And I'm kind of like a translator. I read this comment that somebody had said on one of my comments. They said, Simba helps me understand the life of man and the life I'm trying to get to. And it kind of changed my perspective of how I started approaching this next project and the songs that I've been writing. So I've been creating from a place of being a translator for our culture to dissect different worlds and these different feelings as we make these transitions from the last versions of ourselves into the new versions. And this is a song that's called Can't Relate. For everybody that feel like people can't relate to your transition and evolving in life, that's what this is about. It's available on the Simba app. Y'all can download it in your app store.
Culture United.
Sick of niggas acting like this shit don't take a lot. I wake up every morning, bow my head and pray to God. Where I sit and watch the topic like a vacant spot. So that's my last stop before I find my way to God. I'm trying hard to find a balance between love and hate. Angel on my shoulder, demons that I can't escape. I got big spending habits and expensive taste. What you know about fucking hoes that you ain't have to date? Can't relate. Shit, I'm sidelined with the lean on right next to Dion. This shit I'm on to take it eons. A rap Elon. Laughing at these fake peons. This new recon. That first way back for the pecan. It's Puerto Rican. Used to sell packs in the bridges like I was Leon. Flapping out a really Nissan to keep the heat on. That's the shit y'all never see, huh? Sacrificing for your freedom. Niggas free, huh? I'm sick of niggas acting like this shit don't take a lot. I wake up every morning, bow my head and pray to God. Where I sit and watch the topic like a vacant spot. So that's my last stop before I find my way to God. I'm trying hard to find a balance between love and hate. Angel on my shoulder, demons that I can't escape. I got big spending habits and expensive taste. What you know about fucking hoes that you ain't have to date? Can't relate. Living in my dream, no longer imaginary. I've learned the difference between allies and adversaries. Some niggas wanna see you win, some wanna see you buried. Sometimes the vision gets blurry, you a visionary. Money change, people change too. Then they blame you, let it change you. That's what the fame do. Build you up to break you down again soon as you break through. Make you face the hottest, criticize the shit they can't do. Niggas couldn't make it, but tell everyone they made you. Niggas in the streets, niggas do is living true. Don't stick to us, it's not till they made you. Right there, available on the scene.
Remember John Second Clause?
Shit, man.
Got all kinds of flyers in the chat right now.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. The chat turned up. Before I get out, I want to say one thing to Ellen. Ellen Black man, in certain environments, we grow up being praised the wrong side of our system sometimes. And the way you guys articulate yourself, represent yourself as women, and you always come from a fair perspective. I truly appreciate that. I learned so much from the both of you today. And it's not many times where I have conversations with women my age group or professions I'm around or learning things. So I truly appreciate you guys. Never let life change y'all. Love y'all forever, man. This Culture United shit is lit. And let's drop it. My son birthday cracked his head up, man. Stay
Right single, as always.
well, brother. Stay far. That's why I was kind of so quiet, because y'all was just going in, and it was like, it was certain things I was thinking about, certain topics y'all was educating me before I even spoke, and I'm like, damn, I ain't even look at it that way, so I appreciate that. Sure. See y'all soon.
Like I said, next time. Sorry, definitely.
Way about you.
appreciate it. Don't you like it? It's unique over here. Shout out to the chat. I'm glad that applause is right here. That's going to be a good time. We're having a good time. So we got very good ones here. All right. Here we go. The red colors. Miss Hummus. Shout out to Miss Hummus. What's second block? Man, her conversation be traveling. Let's say that everywhere. Good song. So, I think Christian was up there, and it's in. Christian was in Understand why she came in hot. Shout out to CBS from the Turn Us Miss each other. Shout out to
It took me a second to figure out. Y'all know. And one thing that I understand that conversation. Oh, everything in chat. Oh shit! I keep going. Also, to highlight. See any comments that say. I appreciate how this was able to articulate her feelings. I understand from my point of view how it was for me. We're down to the point. It's still afterwards. I'm like, free. And I just appreciate all of her support. Thanks. Shout out to you.
Miss Hummus, what's second block? You got a dope stream setup. Oh my God. Same thing.
You caught that shit. So that people can say that it's malicious, but it's our condition in society. It's all to that's I like how you iterated like it's really all
it makes me to change. I just would like to spark that so, you know, I don't really mind it too much. I think it's interesting. First they put that on. That's what becomes what used to happen. It's like, well, now LGW is punished because like that shit every black woman. That's why I think because almost for the way she's like, well, you don't have to do this to LGW because this people think so. Yes. Shout out to anyway, thank you for the $50. I'm 20 years old and I can call 4 songs. One song for the club. Greatest alive because we were on the mixtape. Got me playing so that that's the deal. That's the fact. I do think it's a little wise because I'm a filter, so that's what we do. Michael Jackson, over again, anyway. So I think that's fair to highlight, but consider you can take Michael Jackson off the instrument. You don't have it against the mental. That's the Bucks.
I mean, I just think we're in an era where we're just like, I don't want to say an era. I think you made a great point about the podcast. Two. Well, I think there's two things from one, Drake's a collector. You know what I mean? Buys on so, which on flat value, collectors too. So, I understand that. But two, this is like a future book. This is where 30 years better again, it's that Trump and they get connection to what we do. So, I was a friend. But I was there. And so, I think that's really the program. With a friend with that, I think it's a great accomplishment for straight up. But I think that's really the significance of it. Because 50 years from now, it's all just going to look the same. There's this guy named Michael Jackson, there's this guy named Beatles, there's this guy named Drake. They listen to me. That's one of them, because they're the top of my list. And so, I just refuse to compare those two to it's funny. I don't know what Drake's best song. Let's say God's Plan, let's see this. Nice, whatever it is. Right? It ain't good. It's not the gene, and that was just facts. But now it is awesome. So, it's still got certain things, certain lyrics I like to change. Not to change, I'm saying, like when everyone's talking about, Martin Drake gave the number one. When you split it up, they said, yeah, they didn't think this was that.
And second, also, don't you do that with the sports ball? You need some sort of,
So I got it.
don't they do that with the sports ball? Like, when they change the rule, what they put little action ball out
So, things that you got, like steroids, they'll put an asterisk on certain things. But there's no asterisk on LeBron James. LeBron James has listed on stats as very good. Right? But there's no asterisk that says, LeBron James didn't play in college. Right? So Kareem played 4 years in college. Jordan played 3 years in college. And so their official stats don't even start until they're much older than LeBron is. So there's just certain things that that's
And asterisk.
somebody do something wrong. Okay, you had 87 home runs, but you also
Asterisk.
The only asterisk was really all the line is the after picturing big hard ass
if there's an asterisk for LeBron, it's just you can probably it's number 2 in scoring. It's so and most of us are what's whole problem.
Because I was really I never increased none of their team, but now when I was Jalen for them, then maybe from that team to get it, but whatever. I don't know.
Well, he kind of pioneered, you know what I mean, in terms of being that explicit. And don't get me wrong, there's been other times where guys have decided to start picking, go to the Rockets, Charles Barkley, Ford retired. That didn't work out too well. But those guys were later on. So, LeBron is about 25 years old when he does that. He is by far the best player in the NBA when he does it. And that should be a whole different way to look at how certain teams can. And honestly, I think when it comes to LeBron, I respect LeBron infinitely more off the court than I do when you're on the court. And that's not the utmost respect for him on the court. You know, I just don't think that at the same time. Things that he did in all of this. And then off the court as well. It's either him and Brady or something like that. That's, you know, being the most score in different communities. It's that top tier conversation. I think LeBron's a tremendous investor. But I'm also looking at, you know, I think probably the most impressive thing. I think it's too much. I think it's Kobe. The thing that was the most impressive stat that Kobe got paid attention was that when Kobe Bryant was coming out, literally retired basketball. Everybody
What's up? Today we're going to try to convince some people that Gertrude won the first time. Let's go.
See some key here. Usually use this. This looks like it's a lot better than this. That's a lot of chicken too. Let's see how much you saved here. That's definitely come down.
That's me supersedes like I guess what you think we're going to do that with Drake. Look how much of a higher that was. It's a different management. Goes with that shape.
What the fuck?
Numbers on paper are greater than Michael Jordan was so loose. Greater than still Michael Jackson numbers. So that is what it's like you don't see that often. Coming from someone that far outside of the system, outside of
The cherry picking ass bitch. Niggas, man, this bitch, that's all he been doing all game. Cherry fucking picks, man. This nigga been sitting down. The nigga stop at the 3 line and run down court, bro. This nigga's a fucking bum. Bitch. Trash ass nigga, man.
Yes. He looked around and said, oh, everybody do a drugs?
Look.
only one, two. And he just started dropping. Even with that, sports ball shit's getting interesting, right? They there. It was like it had to be making up the number. It had to be 15 seconds left. Hopefully some shit that made it look like he called for everybody else. And move around, got the ball, game winning three. Like exactly at the buzzer. And only the bed, I didn't know the bed was this is so exciting. And turning it on and the brilliant.
Something's making me Sphinx 1906, first time feature yard, loving it. Thank you very much, Sphinx. Appreciate that. Let's say goodbye. Let's go 6. Yeah, I'll
Say it's good out. Say that's very takes me to get this. It doesn't really look like it. So, Yes.
Relationships is also a good thing for the sport. My opinion, because so, it's like super chats, but get your memberships, all that stuff, all this dope. The interesting thing about getting memberships is access to everything. And, get a chance to move into so
thinking about memberships because Patreon and something bigger than everything you're doing. I don't know how much is
Patreon is over. Top Band is Patreon, it's Substack, it's a bunch of them. So Top Band is about things to. They started out focused on NFL, NBA, Warner Music, Fortune 500. And so they've been successful with that since March 2014. This past March, they just opened up to individual. And what was the same thing as Patreon, but it does better. see is better rates. So you get anywhere between, they take anywhere between 9 and 15%. Usually it fluctuates because they also have a network. And so they have ads permission to put these companies listen to them that you can put into it. So you get it. But also, if you're aware of your own ads, maybe your doctors want to run ads on that page. Live streaming on the newsletter. That's a newsletter. It's like Substack. So check out this. One thing that really is different is that they also give you, they also let you so if you have material content in case they understand, you can drop that on top of the content, and then they give you all of the so all of the information in the video, you'll be able to keep it. So it's white labels for everything that you get down. If you want to move, switch to another platform, you have to take it. Just so you look into it. It's relatively new, so.
Jerry, should I get a trick warrior and assume the technicians are truly producers?
Yes.
All this is virtual. I did this piece a long time ago. Black rap recording statement. Everything is held up 100%, except my last sentence. I think I can frame it a little bit more too early. But for that video, I'm talking about how, be careful with all these apps. You're about to make these apps turn into cable. You're going to have like 6, 7 different apps. You're going to be paying $130, $200 a month one way or the other. It's coming. And that's where we're at. So I'm trying to. I like Top End because they condense that. So, shout out to Martine, my favorite part of Iceman is watching Culture United talk about it. #See You Wednesdays. Both guys been waiting for these last 2 panels for the last 2 years. Wasn't vibing with Hitta, but he stood on his square. Salute Jeremy and Glasses BK. And thank you very much. Once again, dog. I was looking at
I just fucked up my whole motherfucking run on this shit.
This is the album. She's watched it. Reactors.
Back down to 46%, man. I was.
A lot of people really got a sense to see what this album is talking about based off of who they're watching and how they're, listening to them.
I was 1 game or 2 games away from getting that 10%, bro. Knocked all the way the fuck back down. Shit, crazy. I'm gonna go to the rec for a minute. I ain't gonna lie, man. If I get to living like that, I don't even want to keep playing that shit, because that shit gonna take me all the way down. And I'm not on my center right now. That's another thing, too.
Season 7 of My Team is going on a world tour of competition.
International pride is on full display starting in Domination.
Earning all 99 stars will net you 100 overall Andrew Bogut to control the paint.
Yeah, I was very tone deaf. I was like, do you understand what type of administration we're under? There's it's just the lack of humanity. It's not just you don't understand how this is the but I mean, it was very clear to me of him segmenting the black community as if global society against that, in theory, but to be he got offended, which is not very angry ass people that just love to talk to people. That's really what it is.
Here we go. All of us should be fair game because Netflix likes Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart signed some contract. Now all of us have to deal with the stuff that he co-signed. That's crazy.
It's like what you're saying is that, yeah, to your point, it's like you're not because you're expressing sorry that you have to ask for whatever. I was like, I can't help my head and sleep that person specifically. It's almost like a Trayvon Martin moment where there was Trayvon Chad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really dog was a related to this book. Him acting up to that, or actually, I get it. If it's been running over she seems to be a little bit kind of, I don't want to say embarrassed, taking a step back. A lot of these
So maybe it works. It seems like they just know so like like no disrespect came before any disrespect. No disrespect happened. No disrespect. Disrespect.
It's just so that stick them sexually.
I watched the reverse.
Excuse me.
It's as far as it's like very expensive. I thought this was really interesting. Solution.
Let's make them right now.
I would say the same thing I say about
Damn. How the fuck did he catch that?
That understand the culture, they understand not correct for every culture. Netflix is everybody. So for every culture, don't just credit so everybody can choose. It's something that was
racist, and then some of them are funny because there's so much in the nuance that like the writing is actually really good. It's like, but that's my issue. I'm not a fool because it's just like I'm
going to say what it's like. Kevin Hart said short. They have half to That's
why we go to the space.
I go with some much I know from the table. You may want to straight that really good something to me. That really could relate to me. And then the second thing you could have said was, which I actually think is the case, is at the beginning of the Rose and Opens with Shane Gillis thanking Netflix for writing. We spent all this time talking about how they produce it, it's not production. It's a production, it's a production. You should get control of it. He said, he said that Burns, but to me, that's an open showcase. So, okay, he didn't say this. It's hard to walk this line of, I can't control these comedians. I'm a fantastic CEO when I'm in power. Look at how good and constantly production I'm doing. I have no accountability, but clearly you know why I'm there because I've never heard, I don't know what Tony was going to say, but I'm expecting to get more or less from it. It's just crazy. What is that? I'm speaking from someone in a position. C-suite power influence. They just feel like you're supposed to be content.
I feel if she was there, they were like, I think that she had more as well.
You know, I'm talking. You know, there's no series of very negative evidence that and honestly, I don't know the covenants of the heart. They're like this. Netflix is using covenants. They are the ones who get to pick the talent.
Yeah, man. Fuck is that? I even jumped at that shit. 0% contest? The fuck?
Choice. Platform. Comics do that kind of content. I like them not having a choice more than having a choice and defending that.
Or even if you have a choice being like, look, I'm just doing this backstage on the explosion. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
so much about this week. Reach out to Kendrick. Escobar says, I like the fun special editions. My brother can't wait for real. Says, I'm always cautious of therapists who don't have a therapist and a marriage therapist. I am. That's selling life coaching through hypersexual engagement. Yeah, you bring yourself crazy.
oh my god. Yo, I mean, I should just got on the stress, but I was like, I am going to
Excuse me.
My sister was also for therapy and the psych track and the social track and then the different but I think the worst part is as long as you're effective, but I think, and also life coaching is a things out, which I think is great because I saw she just like different things because I just know how she does herself like that. She's calling herself a lot, but life coaching isn't a legit thing. You just go there for a short term like, hey, I have this one particular issue I can't get over and then they go set and it's like I think like what you got
Then it's going to be a complete separate, isolated video. It's going to have your face. The artist formerly known as Dr. Cheyenne Brown.
I sleep blacked out a little bit. I can't go.
You did black out. All of our faces.
My mom texted me. I was like, oh shit, I must have like fed my nigga. I don't know.
Next level go through.
And we got a which I love. Shut the fuck up.
Next one we got is from Ryan 59. Some sound that they throw things on sometimes.
Here?
What bottles? Now they do throw bras. That's the bra. That's the side of that.
I think there is a difference there between Vince Live show
Just about anybody else that's on. I'd be fascinated. Drake on the Super Bowl, I'd be fascinated to see what he would do this week. Get that money. Before the guys, yeah, we probably was like that. I've been to 3 Drake shows. Drake has that Michael setup. He has a sort of a Jay-Z effect. Drake could do arena shows and have a whole audience. He does this cool thing sometimes where he does this like real perfect things. But I see right there the miniature boss right there, the paint with the big bag. I see like that actually. Fan service, you know what I'm saying? But that's about it. Everything else, hey,
and that's also connected to this Jackson It's like facing, bands, drives, but and the vocals sound like he is such a
Oh, my back. Oh, bro, you ain't attention. How long I've been on here? Yeah, I think this might be my last one. I'm about to take me a hot shower.
That to me is really neat.
Shit.
Cultural appropriation and selling it back, and fans of that person being like, he invented that. Maybe y'all should all thank him and just for it. That's the policy. Talk about was it furniture? Like people give each other books all the time. That should be that. Drake's
Just like 3 Drake shows, one of each heroin and drinking oil at the same time. You got some that's actually that's a great merch. T-shirts for them. shows less about what they're doing on stage, more about especially like I went to a show. So we'll see. This is where so yes, this is so she creates so we'll see there. And it's all in Spanish. And it sounds like the two things. They say and it's all track. Nothing but the cover looks actually it's cover not with the cover. Trevor and his own fans
Ooh, come on, man. I just shook the draws off that boy. Get that ball back. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Extra Sketch Comedy Show.
And one bitch.
I think a lot about the visual shows. I think about recommendation. Like as soon as you make people, to make it okay, funny, legislative. And that is a big difference. Most people, it's just it's just being a culture. It's very hard.
Its mechanism of action. Traditional psychiatric medications you take every day, it's not working with your medication. Neurotransmitters that kind of works on this different from the traditional for 60 years. And also, it's just not funny. So even it's like you say it's like it's not even a joke anymore. It's just reality, and you think that shit's funny, and that's
Shout out to Extra Sketch Comedy Show. What's everybody? Hey, so it's almost
So looking out for everybody to tap into the stream and make sure to hit that like button, man. On your way in and out, you know what I mean? Like, share, subscribe, man. Stay blessed, stay positive. Tell your loved ones you love them. Out of this thing, man. I'm gone. Man, you feel.